Looking for magic cards? At flipsidegaming.com you can now use the promo code LVD to get a 10% discount on orders over $10 while supporting the channel at the same time. Alright, let's do another draft here. Pack one, pick one. We've got an Ionize as a rare. Not much better than a cancel. But there's that. The uncommons, not amazing. The motion for an aggressive Boros deck mostly. Guildmage, probably the weaker Guildmage. Still fine card though. Got a Watcher in the Mist. Nice blue common here. And some decent uncommons as well, or multicolor cards as well. I think I'm just taking the Watcher here. How deep do we want to go? Firemind's Research. Need a lot of instants and sorceries to make this worthwhile. If we draw it late, it's a pretty dead card. So I'm not a fan. What else do we have? Some decent Selesnya cards. Colossus, Centaur. Some good red cards. Bodyguard and Minotaur. There's a Disdainful Stroke. So a few options. People liking the Bodyguard. Yeah, Bodyguard's a pretty good card. Could go for an aggressive Izzet deck. Let's try it. Haven't drafted much Izzet yet. Well, there's some good Jeskai cards here. Beam Splitter Mage. Got a Legionnaire, Capture Sphere. Beam Splitter Mage is getting a lot of love. Capture Sphere definitely reasonable too. Could still end up in a great Boros deck if we take the Legionnaire here, but we would be giving up on a nice Watcher in the Mist. It's pretty close. Like, we don't know yet if we're committed to Izzet or if we want to switch to Boros. Keeping our options open seems fine. Could still pivot into Dimir potentially by taking Capture Sphere. And this pack's not too exciting. There's a Piston Fist Cyclops, which would go well in an Izzet deck. There's a Goblin, decent 2-drop. Definitely one of the better ones. If you compare it to the Locksmith, for example, this one's way better. Looks like people like the Cyclops here. Alright, let's try and build a synergistic Izzet deck with a few of the cheap Jumpstart card and see how that works out. Alright, well, there's a Goblin Electromancer, a lot of Izzet cards, Drake, Sergeant, Urchin, Guildgate. So Izzet looks pretty open, but actually so does Boros, since there's a Rock Charger and an Instructor still in the pack. So Jeskai seems to be where we want to be here. Alright, Electromancer to pick. And now it's between Ordinary Goblin, Dazzling Lights. There's also still a Unicorn in the pack, which is a great white card. So I think both Izzet and Boros could have worked out so far. But we'll see where we end up here. Alright, looks like we're going with a Goblin as a decent 2-drop. And there's a Muse Drake for blue. Boros Guildgate in case we wanted to splash. Some other good Selesnya card here too, Flower Flourish. Whisper Agent also technically still castable in Izzet. And looks like we're heading for a Muse Drake, which I think would be my pick too. Just a nice 2-for-1. And alright, we've got a cheap instant and sorcery here. Radical Idea. Help us fuel some of our Izzet cards. Great with an Electromancer in play. And can enable the Cyclops. There's also Fire Urchin. So do we go for the Enabler or the payoff card? Looks like chat likes a Radical Idea. Alright, could take a Fire Urchin now. Could take a Wave as a finisher. Adapt, although I don't think we need Adapt. We'll probably have enough evasive creatures already that we probably don't need it. This is the kind of deck where a Leapfrog is a good addition. Let's go with the Urchin. Alright, we wheeled the Minotaur, that's a good sign. Could also pick up the wave, but Minotaur feels pretty powerful in Izzet. Make it difficult for the opponent to block. 2-3 for 3 is also reasonable. And wow, we even wheeled the Beam Splitter Mage, which we considered picking first time around, so... Alright, if we can find some of those cheap jumpstart cards, the Mage gets better. And now we can have our Mesmerist in case we need more 2-drops. Well, our Izzet deck is shaping up pretty nicely, even wheeled the Urchin. So Izzet seemed pretty open, probably more than Boros, but I think we still would have ended up in a good Boros deck as well so far. Could still splash white potentially. And yeah, I mean, this pack has a good white card, Tribunal. There's also Disappearance for Izzet, not a ton of Izzet related cards, sadly. Locksmith is a pretty mopey 2-drop. Not too many walls in the set. Alright, looks like we're interested in splashing a Conclave Tribunal here more than Disappearance. Disappearance would definitely be a solid addition to our deck, but there's a good chance we wheel it or pick up a second copy. More Beam Splitter Mages. There's also Sure Strike here, which is quite a combo with the Mage, and if we can wheel Mage, then Sure Strike would be even better. Yeah, I think I like taking the Sure Strike, which we're pretty likely to wheel the Mage as it wheeled in the previous pack. And I think we would rather have a Sure Strike than 2 Mages and no Sure Strike. Ooh, this pack is spicy. Another Cyclops. Crater Maker's very good. Another Urchin, Boar. So a lot of solid red cards. I do like me a Crater Maker. Just a nice 2-mana 2-2 and can later provide some more utility. Alright. Well, this is our first cheap jumpstart card that we're seeing. There's an Izzet Guildgate, a Wave, Storm would be one of our first removal spells besides Capture Sphere and Tribunal on the splash. Recruit will also be solid addition. So a lot of good cards for us. I would definitely like Recruit, Disappearance, Storm, Wave, Velocity, Guildgate. Yeah, I can quickly show the curve, so very low, lots of 2s so far. So we would be okay picking up some more expensive cards if we find them. So I think Commander Storm is probably a good addition. There's a chance we wheel one of the cards we want anyway. Let's take the removal spell. And there's another Electromancer, there's another Maximize Velocity, Bodyguard, even an Izzet Locket. I think we're mostly looking at Bodyguard versus Velocity. Even though we would appreciate another Electromancer, most of our spells so far are pretty cheap. So the Electromancer isn't giving us a ton of discounts. Bodyguard seems pretty decent with all the 2-drops we have. And then hope to wheel either this Velocity or the one in the previous pack. Ooh, nice. Wee Dragonauts, Bodyguard, Sonic Assaults. It's difficult to pass up on a Wee Dragonauts though. That card can just win games by itself. So now we really want to put a high priority on those cheap jumpstart cards. Yeah, let's just slam the Dragonauts here. So we could potentially still splash a Swathcutter Giant here, if we're also gonna try and splash Tribunal. So it's between Giant and Crab. Don't think we'll really miss a Crab, to be honest. So might as well hatch and take a Giant, in case we end up with some more Boros Guildgates or other fixing. Alright, there's some very good options still left in the pack. Muse Drake, Izzet Guildgate, Sure Strike. Would like all of those. But what to take? Sure Strike is definitely tempting. Especially given that we could wheel a Beam Splitter Mage. Works pretty well with our low curve aggressive deck. There's a chance we just don't end up playing the white if our deck is good enough as is. Yeah, we definitely need more instants and sorceries. So Sure Strike it is. It's a best of one, so no sideboarded games. This pack is pretty underwhelming. So the next pack I think is the one where we had Beam Splitter Mage. Don't think this pick is gonna matter too much. Doubt we'll play the 3-drop here, but you never know. Alright, and we wield the Mage. No surprises there. Alright, and now it's between Wave and Boar. Both reasonable, I think. Let's pick a Wave. Alright, perfect. So we wield Velocity. There's also Guildgate. I think we still take Velocity over Guildgate here. I think we just need this kind of effect, especially with double Mage in our deck. But we definitely wouldn't mind an Izzet Guildgate. Yeah, let's maximize some velocities. And got a second one, perfect. And we even wield Sonic Assault and Field. I think it's Sonic Assault, but let's see what the chat thinks. It looks like chat agrees. Alright, and we wield the Sergeant anyway, just in case. And then there's this pack. Already have 4 trophies, so definitely don't need it for the collection. There's an Izzet Guildgate, Barging Sergeant, Disdainful Stroke, maybe even Whisper Agent. Probably between Guildgate and Sergeant here would be my guess. So let's take a look at our curve real quick. So right now I think we don't need to white. Mesmerist can go. This one can go. This is looking pretty good. It's a very aggressive deck. Definitely could use a more top end, so a Sergeant would be a fine addition, but mana fixing is always nice, especially when we've got a lot of cheap multicolor cards. Let's take a Sergeant. There's a chance the Guildgate wheels too. Ooh, hello. Steamkin looks awesome in this deck. Most of our cards are red. There's another Maximized Velocity, which we could hope to wheel. Dazzling Lights would be fine. Yeah, Disdainful Stroke would be okay, but I think we're a pretty proactive deck, so we don't really want to be sitting on counterspells if we can help it. Let's just slam a Steamkin. Can have another Cyclops, another Goblin, Boar, Radical Idea, Capture Sphere, so a lot of decent cards. I think taking Sphere is okay. There's a good chance we also wield the Cyclops or something else. Oof. Well, keep getting sweet cards here. Blaze, Beacon Bolt, Bodyguard, Assaults, Guildgate. So let's do a quick count on how many instants and sorceries we have. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So only 8 instants and sorceries so far. Blaze is definitely a powerful finisher for the deck. 6 mana is expensive, we do have 1 Electromancer to make that cheaper. 6 mana is definitely steep, but if we can get them low enough where they're within range of Blaze killing them, then we can just kind of aggressively chump block until we draw a last mana source we need. Looks like Chad is in the Blaze camp, hoping to maybe wield the Beacon Bolt. It's definitely close. I'll try a Blaze here and then hope to wheel one of the Izzet cards. Alright, so more interesting cards here. Night Veil Sprite would be solid. Recruit is great. Another Maximized Velocity and a Maximized Altitude. Definitely difficult to pass up on a Night Veil Sprite, just even outside a Dimir deck, the Surveil every turn is very valuable. I think it's between Maximized Altitude and Sprite, but I'm probably just gonna take a Sprite. Chat seems to be in the same camp. Ooh, another Electromancer, another Commander Storm. Well, Izzet has been wide open this draft, that's for sure. So Commander Storm would be the second copy, so is the Electromancer. Don't have too many expensive instants and sorceries. I guess we did take a Blaze, so that does get a nice discount. Capture Sphere being an enchantment is kind of awkward. Looks like we're still going for Electromancer though. Definitely close. Command Storm is pretty clunky as far as removal goes, but it's removal nonetheless. Ooh, nice. Direct Currents, a great pickup here. Exactly what we were looking for. Cheap removal that can also go face with Jumpstart. So let's not think too much about this one. Could have a third Maximize Velocity, Recruits, Invert Invent. Some interesting options. Alright, looks like we're going for Invert Invent. Don't know if we'll play it. And we wield Izzet Guildgate, perfect. Don't think we need an Adept. And we could have another Maximize Velocity, Dazzling Lights. I think we're off the Splash White plan. We've got way too many playables in just Izzet. Don't think we need to make our mana base worse just for a Tribunal. I doubt we'll play 3 Maximize Velocity. Might as well diversify in case we change up our mind, but... Alright, got another Goblin if we want it as a 2-drop. Seems decent. Do we need a second wave? Seems like a bit much. Boar would be okay too. They've definitely given us a lot of decisions this draft. Almost every pack had multiple good Izzet cards. Let's go for the Boar. And, well, we wield both Assault and Bodyguard. Let's take another look at our curve here. Already have an Assault, already have 2 Bodyguards, already have 1 Boar. We could almost build 2 draft decks out of this. It's gonna be challenging to build a deck here in a second, since we've got so many good choices. Alright, let's take an Assault here. Velocity number 3 or Recruit number 1. Probably gonna be the Recruit here. But then we'll still have to decide whether to play it or something else. Alright, let's take a Recruit. Don't think we'll need a Wall of Mist. Alright, time for deck building, which is quite a task here. We've got 12 cards we need to cut. Let's be pretty aggressive about this. Don't know if we need both Assaults. Muse Drake might be cuttable, which is pretty crazy since that's a great card. Alright, so still 8 cards that need to be cut. I guess we're not gonna play 17 lands here. At most 16. So where to go from here? Yeah, Muse Drake doesn't really seem to fit the deck. We're trying to kill the opponent on turn 5 or 6. Muse Drake doesn't really do much for us. Yeah, Watcher in the Mist could also be cuttable, but I think this one's still good enough. Also the synergy with Jumpstart, with Surveil. We can just Surveil and put a bunch of Jumpstart cards in the graveyard for value. Yeah, Boar's cuttable too. Maybe we don't need double Capture Sphere, since we have so many unblockable effects. How many 2-drops are we gonna need? Do we need the Fire Urchin? Yeah, I think I cut 1 Capture Sphere at least. Yeah, Electromancer's not a crazy cut here, I don't think, since we mostly have cheap instants and sorceries, not that many expensive ones. I think 1 Electromancer is probably cuttable. And I think the Fire Urchin too. And then we still need to make 2 cuts. Alright, looks like we're cutting the Sergeant. And then I actually don't mind cutting a Beam Splitter Mage here. So I think we'll try and cut a Mage, see how it performs, maybe we'll regret it and add a second one later in the draft. This seems like an okay place to start though. Got a decent amount of 2-drops, lots of instants for Cyclops, and Minotaur to clear a path, Wave as a finisher, Blaze as a finisher. Not too many lands, but we also have Jumpstart to discard additional lands we draw. Looks like a decent Izzet deck. Figure out our mana base, so definitely more red than blue. Maybe that's a reason to cut the Watcher, since it's double blue. Might be a bit tricky on the mana base. Yeah, what about just cutting the Watcher so we don't have any double blue spells? And then adding back the Sergeant. And then we can run 961 instead of having to worry about double blue for Watcher. I'll be the first person to admit I dislike cutting Watcher, but it's maybe just better for the mana base. Let's try it. So now we can go 691 and not feel too bad about it. Yeah, we've got, I think, enough unblockable effects to push the Sergeant through for damage, and the haste seems pretty sweet. Yeah, it feels bad cutting Watcher, but we gotta commit to the aggro lifestyle. Alright, I think this is what we're going with, and we'll see how it goes. Let's go. And of course we open with double island. It's pretty sketchy if you don't draw a red right away. It looks like those mountains are hiding out. Alright, up against Boros. And they've got to turn to Stalwart. Well, I swear I put 9 mountains in the deck and a Guild Gate. Let's take it. Alright, found a Guild Gate at least. So my guess is we want to attack first so we can surveil, decide what to draw into with a Radical Idea. Crater Maker, not bad. Can sacrifice it right away to take out a creature. Seems good. Opponent missed their 3-drop, that's good for us. Gives us a chance to catch back up. Well done. Must be nice. Guess we're killing Tajik next turn. All right. Are we in a spot where we want to maximize velocity? I don't think so. Also good value to put it in the graveyard. Alright, so here I think the plan is to chum block Stalwart and then blow up Tajik before damage. Could be bad if they have a trick, but preventing 3 damage seems pretty key here when we're at 12 already. Yeah, we managed to draw 4 of our... how many islands? 6? Tajik only prevents damage to other creatures, not himself. Alright, now would be a good time for a Capture Sphere. Could also Sergeant get in for a total of 6. And then maybe next turn we'll desperately look for an answer. But the fact that this has Vigilance could actually work out to our benefit given the Sure Strike in hand. And a Minotaur is not going to cut it here. Opponent's got 6 mana. We could definitely die here to all sorts of things. Still have a sure strike though. And there's a mountain. How much damage could we get in if we try and go for lethal? We could get in 7 plus 3 stun damage. If we bodyguard plus velocity, but then we can't wave. Thing didn't give vigilance, then how much damage would we have had? Bodyguard plus velocity is 4, plus 2 mentor triggers would have been 12, so we would have had lethal. Do we have any outs? Just jumpstart, I guess. We Dragonauts. Can play this, maximize velocity, still doesn't do enough. Oh well. They get to mentor once again on the Legionnaire here. Yeah. Can kill Legionnaire, chump Stalwart, or we can trade for Stalwart, chump Legionnaire. I don't know, I think this is a lost cause at this point. We Dragonauts plus velocity could potentially do some damage. Well, that's a decent pickup, I suppose. So yeah, this is probably just command Stalwart and say go. Probably have to chump the Sergeant, which is pretty bad, but would still keep us alive. The bad thing is we have to kill Stalwart right away, otherwise they get to mentor. Yeah, maximizes a sorcery. Probably should have just killed the Stalwart right away, to be honest. Just give him a chance of top decking a pump spell there. And now we're dead. Oh well. Hey, thanks for the raid there, CGB. Appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. Alright, we're dead. Alright. Well, not the best opening hand this game on the multi 6. Let's try again. Don't think we make any changes yet. Alright, got a one-lander on the play again. They sure don't make it easy, do they? Alright, let's go to 6. This is better. Well, the maximized velocity is gonna be sweet this game. With our Beam Splitter Mage. So we'll get to see that in action, hopefully. Still think we recruit here. A mountain actually wouldn't have been a terrible draw, but I just didn't want to risk flooding out. So next turn, if we did draw a mountain, we could go Mage plus Velocity for a ton of damage. So wave instead. Alright, let's Velocity next turn, I guess. Probably gonna keep Island in hand to discard for Jumpstart. Opponent on a Golgari Lockets. Don't mind seeing that. Cheap creature for Velocity would be nice. Alright, I think we go for it here. Opponent paused for a second, so they might have a play, maybe a Prey Upon, or what can they have for 1 black mana? the wounds out uncommon, but that wouldn't do anything with no creatures in graveyard. Could also wave, but that seems kind of bad. So yeah, let's Steamkin. And let's maximize some velocities. I guess I could have statue too, yeah, status statue. Doesn't really matter here. Well, we're definitely going off. It's 8 damage coming across. Next turn we can do it again, or we can wave. Yeah, it could be that we should just be playing both mages. I think we wave here. Seems pretty decent to push 7 damage. Kill the spy bug. Yeah, the copies from Velocity with the mage don't count for Steamkin since they're not actually cast. Alright, getting in for 7. If we top deck a cheap creature, Velocity is going to be great. Phantasm. Not exactly what we wanted to see as a cheap blocker here. And a Thief of Sanity. Alright. And Sure Strike. Well, this is gonna be pretty sweet. So my guess is we maximize some velocities first. Opponent's gonna be triple chumping here. Don't even have to Sure Strike, which is the sad part. Since the opponent's forced to triple chump. Yeah, those are 3 chump blocks. Alright, no statue. It's good. Let's just say go. And try again next turn. They did have Necrotic Wound. Alright, so that's the card they had. Fair enough. This way it doesn't get exiled. Could be relevant, I guess. That's a good one, but now they're dead. Unless they've got 1 mana interaction here. Alright. They could have another Necrotic Wound, I guess. This probably plays around it a bit better. All right. After seeing that, maybe we want to reconsider the second Beam Splitter Mage. Could be a bit results oriented here, but alright, then what do we cut for it? Let's cut an Ornery. I like how it changed the picture to it. It's all grumpy that it got cut. Let's put a wee Dragonauts there. Yeah, could also cut the Blaze. It's difficult. Like, Urchin is good too. We even cut a Watcher to make room for more red mana, so we didn't have to play as many blue sources. We even have another Electromancer that we're not playing. Definitely difficult to make the cuts here. I think we'll cut a Blaze. Just try and be more aggressive early in the game. That way we know that we can discard additional lands once we get to 4 or 5 mana. Alright. And looks good. Why do they have to have turn 1 Healer Hawk? At least we've got a Sprite to block. So, do we run out Sprite on 2? Probably. Depends what they do here, I guess. Green-white, so Selesnya. And they've got a 2-drop. Yeah, I think we Sprite it up. Alright, so no tricks. So Cyclops blocks pretty well here. I think it's okay to trade 1 damage for 1 lifelink damage when we get a Surveil. Even though I don't like the opponent gaining a life. Seems like a nice one to put in the graveyard potentially for Jumpstart. Do we need it twice is a question. So maybe we just draw the currents. Yeah, let's just draw it. No attacks, that's good. Maybe a big Convoke here. Reasonably big. Alright. So, could just hang back. Sit on our instance. We could play the Goblin, keep up Sure Strike. We could start direct currenting their stuff. I don't think we're attacking with the Cyclops, since we want to keep back the Guardian for now. Kind of want to keep the wave to answer the Hawk, so I'm fine attacking with the Sprites, so we might just want to current Dissidents. Let's attack first to get some more info on the Surveil. Mountain, don't think we need a Mountain. 5 mana would be useful next turn, but if we top it and draw another land, we're going to be pretty sad. Let's just kill the Dissident, I think. Alright. So we'll maybe take 3 from Restore. Do have the option to trade, but when we have a Wave and Sure Strike in hand, trading seems kind of bad. Alright. So can keep attacking with the Sprites, capture Sphere to Restore, and see what happens. That one seems value to put in a graveyard. Yeah, I think we're capture sphering this turn, so the question is, do we play out our land or not? Alternative is current to Shieldmates and keep up Sure Strike for the Cyclops on the Restore could also be fine. Don't hate it. And then what do we discard? Maybe the Goblin, since that's not gonna get in there anytime soon. Yeah. Otherwise, if they kill Cyclops, we're in a bit of trouble. Let's go for it. Zap this, discard this. Say go. And we'll definitely keep all future lands in hand at this point. That's fine. Alright, wave is looking pretty good here. And now do we get in for 5? Trade 5 for 2 and we're at 11? I think so. Another Sure Strike. Doesn't seem necessary. Would rather draw more creatures here, I think. We have a Capture Sphere to deal with something big. Get in for 1, play Bodyguard, set up the Assault next turn. Alright, we're pretty much where we want to be. Alright, it's too bad. So now we don't get to Mentor with the Bodyguard. Could still trade 7 damage for 2 damage, plus get this going. I think we chill. Vine, okay. Alright, getting a bit of a land pocket here. Probably can afford to play 1 land here. Don't have too many jumpstart cards left. A Radical Idea and 2 maximize velocities. Just say go. Just need to find a creature to go alongside the Bodyguard, set up better attacks. Sure. Alright, something. Can Mentor onto it, which is decent. Yeah, this game probably would have been over if Sprite and Bodyguard could keep attacking. Well, that's a card. Are we in trouble here? Do we need to tap something down with Assault? Or with Capture Sphere maybe? Probably the Guardian. And I think I'll take 3 here. More lands. 2, 5, 6, 11. So we've got 5 lands left in 18. Alright. Alright, opponent's got a fresh hand, so we're going to be in trouble if they've got something big. And what's it going to be? Aquanaut, so Command Storm would be a pretty decent draw here. island, not so much. I guess we're dead. Didn't draw very well. It's too bad. Don't think that means we want to go down to 15. I think 16 is still reasonable with all the jump start. Do have a very low curve though. Yeah, let's try 15. Cut on islands. Although 6 might be too few. So 7, 9 seems good. What do we add? I think it's between Blaze, Sphere, Urchin, and Boar. Yeah, Blaze with 15 lands is ambitious. So it's probably, I mean, it could also be Sonic Assault. Don't think it's Electromancer since we don't have a ton of synergies with it necessarily. And looks like we're going with a Sphere. Alright. Still a very low curve. Alright. Let's try and get some wins. Well, 15 lands and a 4 land opener. But I think we keep. Got lands and spells. This radical idea is looking pretty radical. Up against a green deck, so they're not going to have a ton of interaction for the Dragonauts, hopefully. Well, this hand's shaping up nicely. Got a ton of options next turn. Hopefully Dragonaut survives a couple turns and deals 14 damage. Oh no, it's a Recluse. Alright, Electromancer, not too shabby. They can only block one creature with the Recluse, and we've got a Sure Strike. Alright, interesting block. So now we kind of have to Sure Strike, that's fine. And we'll probably keep the radical idea to pump the Dragonauts. Another one? It's annoying. So Capture Sphere would be decent. Now what? We can radical idea, pumping Dragonauts, attack with everyone. And then Crater Maker can finish something off. We could also Direct Current the Dissident, attack with everyone just to push as much damage. If they block Recruit, we lose it, but we get in for 5 damage on the Dragonauts, plus 2 on Electromancer. So 7 put them to 9, but then we still need to deal with the Recluse. Yeah, I think we're just gonna current Dissident. And attack with everyone. Hope they block the Dragonauts. Alright, this is good. And our opponent's gonna pack it in. Fair enough. Well, this draw went pretty well. Could have even jump-started the radical idea to get even more damage in had they not blocked Wee Dragonauts there. Electromancer was fine, but might be better than an ordinary goblin. Alright, let's try this. And this hand's looking quite good. Gonna lead with the recruit here, I think. Then we can turn 3 Electromancer plus Sure Strike on the cheap. Ooh, never mind. Probably gonna bodyguard. Boros. Drawing a lot of action here. Could have also Steamkind, since if they do find removal for recruit and bodyguard's not getting in there. Oh yeah, I don't mind racing. Not one bit. Ooh, man. Those are some spicy draws. Not bad, not bad. Oh, Boros on blocking duty. Don't see that very often. Alright, so can we kill them? Can go Electromancer, Velocity, Sure Strike. Seems decent. Alright, should do it. Don't even have to Sure Strike here, which is a funny thing. Alright, so that's how games are supposed to go. Yeah, that was a quick one. This hand's looking okay. We're lacking instants, but still a decent hand, I think. Turn 1 Marshal. Ooh, Sprite. I think we want to Sprite first, improve our draw step. We'll worry about Electromancer later. Alright. Sure Strike seems good. Alright. It is Boros. And now what? Are we racing? Do they have a trick? Yeah, with double Electromancer, Commander Storm could cost 3 potentially. Alright, so they've got something, but they had to think about it. So what could it be? I mean, losing the Wee Dragonauts is not the end of the world. It's not like we had a ton of instants to trigger it. So what are we blocking? Is there anything that deals 1 damage we should be aware of? I kind of want to force them to use their trick this turn, so it messes up their curve as well. Alright, show me what you've got. Sure Strike, alright. So, keep getting in for 1. Bodyguard seems fine. And now we can Electromancer plus Sure Strike on defense potentially. So I think we're converting the Sure Strike here. Question is which creature to kill. Probably the Scout. Don't think we want that on 3 lands. And next turn we could potentially make some big attacks. Alright, just a strike bodyguard. Fair enough. Get in for 3. So pretty tight race here. Mage. Alright, we're probably attacking with Electromancer, playing another one. So we can play command for 3. Sonic Assault. Great in a racing scenario, which this is slowly shaping up to be. Yeah, seems like a good one. The question is, do we need to cast it twice, or is once enough? Maybe casting it once is enough. I think I'll put it in the graveyard. Alright, 6 mana. Got 2 decent removal spells in hand. If Electromancer survives, we can command for 3 mana. Alright. It's definitely fine by me. Seemed like a pretty desperate turn. But maybe the Sonic Assault made them do that, which makes sense too. Alright, so probably gonna Command a Storm the boar here, so we don't take too much damage on the way back. So we won't be able to cast anything else. Do we play out our lands? I don't think we do. Yeah, no, I think I keep land in hand still. Yeah, we will eventually need our 4th land for Capture Sphere. There's a chance we keep jump starting over and over again here. Alright, I'm fine with them moving to combat. Sending both. Alright. This should kill even through a combat trick. Sonic Assault can tap stuff down, so I'm not worried about blockers as much, plus we have Capture Sphere. This is looking good. Pack Beast, not great when you're on the defensive. And a Cyclops. Alright. So if we Sonic Assault, we get in for 6, 7. Put them to 2. Could also add a Mage to the board. Or we could just Capture Sphere Pack Beast, get in for 5, keep Assault for next turn. Seems safer. And Radical Idea, I'll put in the graveyard for value. Alright, so Sonic Assault next turn should be good enough. At 8 life we're pretty safe. Even land into Blaze doesn't kill us. Bounty Agent, that's fine. Punches us down to 5. So yeah, this should be dead here. Alright. Sweet. Alright, so at least got 4 wins. So either way we've got a positive record, which feels right with the deck, as our deck felt pretty powerful when we were drafting it. But as you noticed, it took us a couple of games to figure out kind of the optimal build, since we had so many cards to choose from. Difficult to make those last few cuts, deciding on whether we wanted 15 or 16 lands, how many mages and electromancers we wanted. Alright, this one's not great. Missing blue mana means can only cast a Crater Maker. Once we do find blue mana, can't even fully take advantage of the discount of Electromancer since can't cast Radical Idea twice. Alright, we're mulling. This isn't much better, but I guess we'll keep in the hopes of scrying a blue source to the top. Can't really go to 5. Alright, that's a good one. Turn 2 sprites. Hopefully we'll fix our draw. Alright, another aggressive white deck. Yeah, can't really call their bluff here. Steamkin's a good draw. We'll have to take some abuse from the Marshal, but hopefully no Sky Knight Legionnaire. They're looking at our creatures, so I've got a removal spell incoming. Yep. It's not great. They don't even want to trade here. It's kind of weird. Electromancer is decent. Also powers up our Commander Storm. Alright, so if the trick is a Sure Strike, that would be bad. If their trick is +2/+2, then blocking Electromancer or Marshal would be pretty sweet. And trading Sure Strikes is still fine, I guess. Grows our Steamkin. Alright, was a Sure Strike. Maximize velocity. Don't think we want to play it here just to get in 2 more damage. Feels like we want to keep it until we top deck a creature. I will attempt to race even though it's unlikely to work out, but with maximize velocity in hand, who knows. Alright, let's hope to draw a land now. Bodyguard instead, so are we racing here? Bodyguard into velocity. Yeah, we're 1 counter away from completely going off. So do we take 8 on the way back down to 5 in order to get 8 damage down to 6? I mean, it still feels worth it. They might also trade here, you never know. Steamkin can only grow up to a 4/4. Can't get more than 3 counters, sadly. Alright, opponent takes it. we'll say go. And we'll see for that here. Alright, opponent sends, taking 8 down to 5, so we die to the Lava Axe effect since they've got a 5-power creature in play. Could die to 2 pump spells. We'll see. Do have some outs if they just rely on a blocker. Alright, we're down to 2. Banner it, that's fine. And opponent says go. Oh man. If this Guildgate was an untapped land, they would be dead. I guess, are they still dead? So we can pay 3 with a Steamkin, command the Banneret, and then discard Guildgate to maximize velocity. Then Steamkin would still be a 3/3, so yeah, we would still kill here. I think we go for it. We don't even have to maximize velocity here since we will be attacking for 6. Is there a reason to do it anyway? I mean, the reason is that we're dead anyway, so it doesn't matter. Alright, GG's. That was a close one. Yeah, Steamkin coming in big here. On a mulligan. Felt like we were pretty far behind, but... Alright, let's see if we can get 6 wins here. Would have made both 4/4s, I guess. Yeah, I guess we could have gotten 1 more point in there. But again, didn't really matter. This hand's not exciting, but still keepable. Needing 5 mana for Sergeant is a lot, since we don't get the discount from Electromancer. But the Wave does get the discount. Another aggressive white deck with a turn 1 Hawk. The last 3-4 decks we faced have all been aggressive white decks. Alright, Dragonauts is good. Legionnaire. Ooh, Bodyguard is nice. Think we Bodyguard over Dragonauts here. Although Dragonauts is sweet too, since it blocks the Hawk. Could also Crater Maker to kill Legionnaire, but it feels like we want to race with this hand. So between Dragonauts and Bodyguard, I think we still Bodyguard here. Force them to have a removal spell. Alright, we're racing. Don't mind seeing 1 toughness creatures here. Losing Goblin would be a big setback, especially if it's not with the Luminous Bonds. Alright, that's fine. It's kind of a weak play here. Alright. So opponent's pretty aggro. Doesn't feel like we need to wave this turn. So we can just attack for 6, play a Dragonauts, which can block their stuff. If they've got a trick, we'll know. And then we can see next turn what we want to do. Not being able to play Steamkin is unfortunate, since I've got all these red spells in hand. But it feels like playing Dragonauts is pretty sweet here. Could get punished if our opponent has their own Sergeant next turn to put a counter on the bird. But I guess they would be more likely to put the counter on the Legionnaire, since then they can attack past the Dragonauts. We'll find out soon enough. Drawing a mountain next turn would be nice. Ooh, Truefire Captain. And our opponent stays back. And we drew the mountain. Well then, how's wave looking like? If we wave, we get in for 9 damage, put them to 6. We would also take one from the captain, so we would be at 10. So we can't actually wave, otherwise we're dead. Let's just double check. So yeah, we take 1 from captain, down to 10, 6, plus 4 is lethal. So that doesn't work. Yeah, and the Mentor also pumps the Legionnaire, it's true. So do we just direct current the Legionnaire, attack with the Dragonauts? Can also Crater Maker block and shoot something. Could go Steamkin plus Crater Maker this turn, stay back. Man, the timer is definitely annoying. I don't know. I'm going with the defensive play here to try and set up a big turn next turn. And hopefully we're not dead. Alright. So they're getting in for 8. So if they go land into punch, that's another 4 damage. If we deal too much damage to the captain, we're also at risk of dying. So my guess is we just have to chum the Legionnaire, take 4 from the captain down to 7. If they punch, we would still be alive, and then try to kill with wave on the way back. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If we draw mountain, maybe. I wish we had more time to think about this. Yeah, I think if we draw a mountain, we might be in good shape. We drew a mountain. Alright, I mean... could also Sergeant. But a wave plus direct current. How does that look like? Hog dies, so they can't block. Then this gets a counter. Direct current can go face, that's another 2 damage. And pumps the Steamkin once again. Bodyguard puts counter on Crater Maker, so we've got 3 plus 4 is 7, plus 3 is 10, plus 3 is 13, plus 2 is 15. So that does it. And we would take 1 from the captain. Whereas if we play Sergeants, opponent can block with the Hawk. Mentor, Mentor, so this is a 3-3. This is a 3-3, this would become a 4. So 4 plus 3 is 7, plus 3 is 10, plus 3 is... I think we go with a wave plan here. Alright, let's see what they have. Damage, yes please. Oof. Well, managed to steal that one. Just had to double check if maybe Sergeant offered us a better line. Yeah, needed to top deck that mountain. Sweet. Well, the Izzet deck is definitely keeping things exciting. What do I think about taking out Sergeant for the 2-1 Goblin? It's definitely reasonable. Yeah, kind of looking at our curve now. We've got 2 spheres at 4, wave often cheaper thanks to Electromancers, and so is Command. Command often costing 4 mana. So Sergeant kind of looks out of place in a 15 land deck now. So yeah, don't hate an extra 2-drop here. Alright, just going super aggro We're almost like a mono red deck. Sure, let's try this. And I think we still keep the same blue-red distribution to make sure we can cast our blue spells on turn 2. Izzet seems more aggro than Boros if you build it right. Yeah, it's definitely looking like it after this draft. There's different builds of Izzet, so you can also build a more controlling deck. But this is just a more aggressive version that maximizes on the jumpstart 1-drops. And this hand's looking decent. Hoping to top deck Sure Strike or Maximize Velocity with the Mage. Alright. Up against what looks like a Dimir deck. And there's Sure Strike. Alright. So what 2-drop to lead with? What are the 3-drops our opponents likely to play on their turn? They could have a Whisper Agent for Phantasm. They could have a 2-3. They could have Disinformation Campaign. They could keep up a counterspell. What lines up better? My guess is a Sprite, since that flies over regardless. Even if we're not maximizing the damage output right away. Also the draw smoothing effect is gonna come in handy. We would have had to use a Sure Strike here, which is not exactly where we want to be. Ooh, sure. I mean, we could also put it in the graveyard, but with double Splitter Mage, it seems kind of nice. The next turn we can go Mage plus Velocity. Sure. Do we play another Mage here? So let's see, when you cast an instant or sorcery. So if we target it with a copy, it doesn't work, obviously. I guess we could recruit. Sure. Make our opponent think that 3 toughness is enough. And then next turn give them the surprise Beam Splitter Mage plus Maximize Velocity. Maybe Sure Strike, we'll see. I guess if we wanted to go for the Sure Strike plan, then we should have played the Beam Splitter Mage here. Yeah, maybe. Especially given that we have 2 of them, so even if they kill one, it's not the end of the world. And I think our plan is clear here. We're not interested in expensive spells. We're just gonna go face. And I don't think we need Mountain, although it would let us double spell, so I guess it's not bad. We could go Mage plus Sure Strike. Alright, let's keep it. So is our opponent planning on growing the Phantasm even more? Looks like it. This is looking decent. Dead Weight, oof, that's a very good one here. 1 mana removal spell, they can still play something else too. Thought Erasure us. Well, there goes a Beam Splitter Mage. That's a big setback. Opponent going, kill your Beam Splitter Mage, take your Beam Splitter Mage from your hand, and oh, by the way, get back my Disinformation Campaign. That was a big setback. And now the land we kept on top isn't looking as great. But we're still gonna try and empty our hand here. Alright. We Dragonauts. Ooh, that's an awesome draw. Although it's a little awkward that we can't maximize velocity if we have to discard to the Disinformation Campaign, since we'll have no cards to discard. But still a good play. Opponent wants to take it. I think we just go and deal 6 damage here. Opponent down to 3. So next turn we can play the wee Dragonauts, and then try to maximize velocity it the turn after. And they can draw all the cards they want with their disinformation campaign. Alright, we're on the flyer plan. Bodyguard. Bodyguard is not unreasonable, but also doesn't really attack if they can somehow deal with all our creatures. It's just discard fodder for maximize velocity either way, I think. So I think I'll bottom it. Alright, we've got lethal in play. Velocity coming up. So they need to deal with both flyers. That doesn't do it. Alright, sweet. So velocity on the sprites, Dragonauts gets pumped. And we did it. Oof. Sweet. GG. That was an epic game. So in the end we got the 7 wins the deck deserved. Started 1-2 into 7-2, not bad, not bad. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed that one. Definitely was a challenging deck to both build and then pilot. Alright, let's claim our prize. Hey, thanks for the bits there, Duran, and thanks for all the input. I don't mind people giving their thoughts on what should be added or cut. I'm always open to new ideas. I'm by no means the final authority on Magic. Alright, sweet. And yeah, that's pretty much everything for today. Want to thank everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for the birthday wishes. Hope you enjoyed. And as always, have a nice day. I also want to thank all my patrons for being part of the channel, and you can become a patron yourself today and decide the topic of future videos over at patreon.com/LegenVD.